New captain and new halfback pairing?
Yeah, just Ivan's, like I think the best scrum half in the club, so he deserves to come back in. And there's obviously Jason's out with injury. Yeah, so and then we've got a number of injuries. I think we've got quite a few, 3 debutants on the bench.
A new captain?
Yeah, I mean at the end of the day, with Andre out and Berger out, so it's just important to create the right balance with our most experienced players, and RG is well liked and well accepted, and he's also demonstrated consistent performance this year. It's also nice to have a captain that's closer to the referee, and then Jesse's obviously a strong leader in the back line, and has also been very consistent this year as well.
You must have been happy. I mean, Mani played well when he did play for RFE. You must also be excited to see him have a go at big gamers.
Yeah, every outing for Mani is important. As I said to him at the start of the year, he's almost like a first-year uni student, at Super Rugby level. It's important for him to develop and learn, and wait for his minutes and his opportunities, not to be impatient. So like any young fly half, their biggest challenge is not so much their what they possess in terms of being athletic and skill-wise. It's more game management, and I guess that's probably still an area. Both him and Embros, who have got exceptional talent, they just need to learn how to manage the game and serve others or create pressure on the opposition in different ways, rather than just always looking to run it.
John, do you expect the Lions to throw everything and the kitchen sink at you?
Yeah, I mean they're at the top for a reason. They're the best side in our conference. They have demonstrated that they've been the benchmark of our country for a while now. So it's really important for us to measure ourselves against them. And ultimately, at the end of the day, there's nothing better than playing at Ellis Park and playing in the Derby. So it's certainly that. And what have they got at stake? They've got the ability to finish number 1, which also probably gives them the ability to climb up in terms of not so much the quarter-final, but where they head in a semi-final.
You've identified a scarcity or a need or a want in the Bulls currently, especially on Super Rugby level and being on international level. Can you identify some of the alliance players that would suffice on your description there?
Not sure what you mean, sorry.
You said previously last week, you said one of the reasons why the Bulls have not succeeded is a lack of international players, or they've got substandard players.
I didn't say substandard.
Well, no. Not on Super Rugby level. Let me use your words, on Super Rugby level.
Yeah.
Have you identified players of that nature, which are of that nature or that kind in the Lions team that you can pinpoint?
Yeah, I think in simple summary, basically, I questioned the depth. Last week. So we've got to build depth, and it's pretty clear where we've got to build depth as well. You cannot rotate players unless you've got experienced depth. And we as a club have, rightly or wrongly, have relied on introducing youth into Super Rugby probably far too early, in my view. So, it's very important for us to make sure that we've got 2 teams of Super Rugby quality, which I've also explained last week as well. So that's what we'll be building towards. And again, it's very clear in the positions. I mean, look at the loose forwards this year. Marco and Bowley have been the most robust and healthy of all the loose forwards, but we've had 3 or 4 loose forwards that have been out longer than 8 weeks in the competition. We can't carry that in this competition. We cannot carry losing two major loose heads. We cannot carry losing 3 tight heads, for long periods of time in the competition. So that's why we sit where we sit, because we missed out on 6 close games and we're unable to rotate our depth. So it's important that we, going forward, that we make sure that we're able to sustain this competition through having depth.
John, this is a very different team to the one that would have started the season, and
No doubt, no doubt.
and probably
Yeah.
what your ideal team would be starting side. What would your message be to the side? I mean, probably people look at it and say they're on a hiding to nowhere going to Ellis Park, and it's a Lions team that's
Yeah,
on
well,
top of it.
ultimately, at the end of the day, you've got to score more, don't you?
Is that your expectation of? I mean, not to say these are second-rate players or fringe players, but is that your expectation of them to?
Yeah,
to
it's important that we go with an extremely positive mindset. We're well aware of their strengths. We're well aware of what they've trended in the competition. We're well aware of how important the game is to them. But we also, what's important for us is to make sure that we finish off with a performance that we're actually very pleased with. And we're going to have to be extraordinary on the weekend. This group's going to have to be extraordinary to create a very good performance. So that's the challenge that's in front of us. It's got nothing to do with closure. It's about actually achieving an extraordinary performance. How far that takes us against this very good Lions side is something that we can't control. But what we can control is turning up with an extremely positive mindset and giving it a crack.
John, just in terms of the campaign, I know it must feel as if you don't have any Springboks left anymore, but just in terms of how the season has progressed in that regard, there was an opinion, I think last year, that some observers felt that guys like Jesse and Handre and Louis de Jager and Trevor Nyakani had almost stagnated over the past 2 years after the 2015 World Cup, and they've generally all been resurgent this season. Just your opinion of their performances and their almost form this year. Are you happy? Are you encouraged?
Yeah, I think our test players have played extremely well this year. I think I've gone on record in the last couple of weeks saying that it's been the depth. It's some of our twos, some of our threes and fours have adapted slowly. But I think it's pretty clear to everyone that our style of football and our approach is quite different. You know, if there's two things that have changed within a year, it's a new process and new systems and a new style which comes with mindset and approach. One thing that I have given is I've given all the talent in both Currie Cup and Super Rugby. I've given everyone a chance. So I'm even better off, having been 1 year into it, to understand where we've got to commit to next. So that's between myself and the board now. And so, I have a particular strategy that I'm after, that I think will be the blueprint of success, and therefore it's going to need to be committed. If we commit to it, then we give ourselves every opportunity to even go further than this year. I mean, you just have to look at the fact is that we've lost 6 close games right up until the Sharks here were at home. We're right in contention, and since then there has been a decline in our performance, except the guys showed enormous character last weekend, and they're going to have to show enormous character on the weekend. But ultimately, you cannot sustain performance in this competition unless your depth is spot on, and you cannot ignore injuries. And what I've just simply said is that we've been carrying some of the top liners. We carry a very thin amount of top liners in this club, and we can't expect them to get through 16 games, let alone 19 games of Super Rugby, and win this championship.
Just on that, John. Even though obviously depth, just to support them, is going to be a key objective for the next year or so. But are you at least encouraged that your top line guys like Handre and those guys are the type of almost like bedrock that you want to base your the rest of your or the future team on? Are they
No, I want to add to them.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to add to them. So as I said before, it's more. My focus is more about creating quality at Super Rugby level than relying on quantity, and allowing the youth to arrive when they need to arrive, rather than actually putting them in too early.